One of Motorola's most popular phones ever is the iconic RAZR V3 from 2004. Considering this, it wasn't surprising when the company's foldable Motorola RAZR 2019 was heavily inspired by Moto's iconic flip phone. Now it is time for the third-generation foldable, modern-day RAZR phone. The Motorola RAZR 2022 was first introduced to the Chinese market, but now it is set to be released in Europe as well. I spent a week with this impressive-looking phone, trying to find out whether it is now polished enough to recommend to more than just hardcore fans of the brand. Motorola RAZR 2022 design. The new RAZR 2022 has slimmer screen bezels than its predecessors, and it finally ditched the big chin. However, the bezels are still relatively thick compared to a regular smartphone of this price. They are also thicker than the ones of the Galaxy Z Flip 4. The bezel itself is plastic, surrounding the foldable screen. I must admit that it feels a bit cheap to the touch, unlike the screen, which feels amazing for this type of device. The bottom half of the phone has a matte back, with the Motorola and RAZR logos imprinted on it with a different, glossy coating. The back reflects light, making for a distinguishing look found on the Interstellar Black Edge 30 Ultra's back. The top half houses the outer screen in the rear, shielded by a single piece of Gorilla Glass fiber. Only the camera module and LED flash aren't covered. This glass has a grayish tint and is very reflective. The overall feel of the RAZR 2022 when unfolded is for a pretty large but light device. It also feels surprisingly comfortable in the hand and not easy to drop. However, it does not feel as premium as the Galaxy Z Flip 4, which is a shame. It is also almost impossible to open it with one hand. Motorola RAZR 2022 display. For sure, the RAZR 2022's foldable display is its most impressive part. This 6.7-inch OLED screen is almost creaseless. The crease on Samsung's foldable phones is significantly more pronounced, so this screen reminded me more of the one used in the Oppo Find N. The foldable display can stay half open, creating a laptop-like look that is perfect when capturing selfies or video calling, as it acts as a stand. The screen itself has a 144 Hz refresh rate and a 2400 x 1800 resolution. It is very smooth, especially when navigating through the user interface or playing games. It also gets very bright, so using it in direct sunlight isn't an issue. The minimum brightness isn't the lowest out there, but it is okay. Motorola RAZR 2022 camera. When it comes to cameras, the RAZR 2022 has a dual camera system consisting of a 50MP f1.8 main sensor with OIS and a 13MP f2.2 ultra-wide shooter with a 120 field of view. You might be wondering why I call this the 1.5 camera system. Well, it is because of how outdated the ultra-wide sensor feels. Even during the day, this camera produces average results at best. Details are simply not there, and the colors and exposures aren't accurate. Motorola RAZR 2022 Android version. This phone comes with Android 12 out of the box. However, Motorola has promised an update to Android 13 is coming soon. Still, the RAZR 2022 will get only 2 major OS updates, and that includes the Android 13 update. I think this is very unsatisfactory considering how expensive this device is. 3 years of security updates are promised too. The software experience on the foldable screen is a very traditional Motorola one. This means you get mostly clean Android, with the brand's little software tweaks, like the double chop to turn the flashlight on. Motorola RAZR 2022 charging speeds. The Motorola RAZR 2022 supports 30W fast wire charging that gets the 0 to 100% job done in about an hour or so, which is pretty good, but not the best there isn't. That's important, as we mentioned earlier that the battery life of this device isn't great. Unfortunately, there's no wireless charging on this phone. This probably is due to its foldable design space issue, but you have to keep in mind that Samsung has overcome that, as the Z Flip 4 does have both wireless and reverse wireless charging capabilities. Motorola RAZR 2022 audio quality and haptics. The audio output of the RAZR 2022 is surprisingly good. The dual stereo speakers produce sound with good depth and nice mids and highs. The vibration motor is in the bottom part of the device. It gives overall good feedback, but not the best we've tested. But the call quality on the new RAZR isn't the best. On speakerphone, people could hear themselves, which is very annoying. Also, the earpiece is a bit weak for my liking. The microphones do a fine job when using the earpiece, but on speaker, you have to be close to the phone so people can hear you clearly. There were no issues with 5G and LTE connections. Overview. The Motorola RAZR 2022 is a big improvement over its predecessor in every area. Its design is refined. It finally has top-notch processing power and both screens are brighter and better. The display has one of the smallest creases I've ever seen on a foldable device, which for me is a great advantage. Still, when compared to its only rival, the Galaxy Z Flip 4, the RAZR 2022 performs worse in almost every department. It is similar when it comes to raw performance, but the camera system is definitely worse. Battery life also isn't as great, and Samsung's phone is more compact and feels more premium. The RAZR is more expensive too, which puts the nail in its coffin. A creaseless design just isn't enough to justify the RAZR 2022 shortcomings. And what about comparing it to regular similarly priced phones? I already mentioned the recently released Motorola Edge 30 Ultra. This phone is more affordable, has an amazing camera system, a stunning design, and blazing fast charging for its much larger battery. We are going to end this video right away. If you have any query or information to share, please leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.